Hello and welcome back to St Peter and St Paul Church Hall. We're standing in the main entrance, and you can see that we've cleared it of extra furniture and we've tidied up the notice board, and on here you will see all of the risk assessments and the special hire conditions which you've already received. On entering the hall, we've provided some hand gel which we'd like to ask you to remind your members to use when they come into the hall. We'll now go in through the main entrance, and we are going to be operating a one-way system. So we're going to ask everybody to come in through the main entrance and go out through the fire exit, which is this fire exit here. And as you can see, we have provided some gel for everybody to use on their way out, so that if they do pick up any virus on their hands, they then don't take it outside the hall and pass it on to their families. Some of you have also asked for us to provide a few chairs and a couple of tables, and we've put these here near the main entrance so they're both together. We would ask you to make sure that all the chairs are cleaned after use, and the same with the tables. Also in the hall, you can see that we've moved all of the contents of the user cleaning cupboard into the main hall. So that's the broom and the dustpan and brush. And we've also provided a box of cleaning supplies, which will include toweling and spray and some rubber gloves and some black bin liners for you to use to go round and check and clean everything that has been touched by you and your group. Also, nobody coming back to the hall has said that they want to use the kitchen at all, so we've actually blocked this access off, and so please remind members of your group that they shouldn't be going through these doors at all. Now, in terms of the social distancing rules, I know that some groups are going to be using a 3 metre distant rule, but our capacity is based on 2 metres. So rather than mark the floor and potentially confuse participants about where they're supposed to be standing, we've just put some notices on the wall just to say this poster here is actually 2 metres from the nearest poster. So anybody in the hall, if they are using 2 metres social distancing, should be able to use that as a guide. We would ask that you don't put any further tape down on the floor. This is an older floor surface and it's not in great condition, as some of the top coat has come off. We'd be quite concerned that there could be potential damage from adhesive from any further tape put down. So as you are operating on reduced numbers anyway, it should be fairly straightforward to try and keep everybody in line as they move around the hall, and I think that most people have become quite accustomed now to keeping their distance from each other. So, moving on to the toilet area, and you'll see from the door, this is where we've also located the emergency isolation area, so that if anybody does become ill whilst they're at one of your classes, you have an area that you can isolate them in whilst everybody goes home through the fire exit door. So we'll just go through this area now. As you can see, we've got taped up chairs here, and apologies for the sound because it's quite echoey in here. And this area here is the COVID emergency isolation area, and we've cordoned off a chair, and we also have a COVID first aid box located underneath. And again, I would ask you to stress to your members that they must not under any circumstances touch either the chair or the box underneath. So let's just have a look at the box. And in the box we have a range of first aid equipment, including a face shield, gloves, sanitizer, wipes, bin liners, etc. And all of this is located, if I can open the lid, in here. And also we have a list of what's in the box and the COVID treatment plan. So these are step-by-step instructions explaining to you what you need to do if somebody falls ill. We've also got the contact information for Joy Brown, who is overall in charge of the building. And if somebody does fall ill, you must inform her straight away, and do please email the office email address, because I have that on my phone and I do check it regularly. So if there is an emergency contact from you, I will pick that up. So that's an overview of what's in the box. Let's pop that away. And that lives securely under the chair. Now, coming back round to the toilet areas, we have kept both toilet areas open, and one is the disabled toilet, primarily because we don't actually have keys for locking any of them to reduce access. What we would ask is that everybody exercises some social distancing when they go in, so one person goes through this door at any one time. So although there are, in the ladies, 2 cubicles, only one person should be going in at any one time. I think that is taking you on a main tour of the hall. And so, as a reminder, on departure, you've got the cleaning equipment on the left, and the reminder is just to make sure any surfaces that you've touched or your group have touched do get cleaned down. Chairs put back in this location, because I think this is the best place for them to be, so that you get the main use of the hall space. When you, as the hirer, leave, please check that this door is securely locked, because it's also a fire exit door. So once closed, it should lock, but please double check that. Double check that everybody has put rubbish in a bag, that you've collected everything up that should be collected up. We are no longer operating a lost property box, so everybody must take their things away with them. If they do leave anything behind, I'm afraid that it will actually be disposed of, because we are not going to be storing any lost property from now on. I know it all gets very complicated and we will have to have all of these rules, but that's just where we are at the moment. So I think that's it. There is a bin for you by the main entrance to pop anything in here that you pick up or want to dispose of. And I think that's it. If you do have any questions or any issues, please do email the office. I think this is very much let's see how it goes, and I'm sure that there'll need to be some tweaking as we go along, but welcome back to the hall, and I hope everything goes well with your classes and people enjoy coming back.